Good morning, class. Welcome to another edition of Papa Llama's Advice Hole. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to organize and clean free stock market data that we downloaded from Yahoo Finance. I made a video about that previously, which I will link in the comments below and at the end of this video if you want to learn how to download the data. But now that we have the data, we're going to talk about how to organize it, how to clean it up so that we can use it for analyzing in a future video. All right, let's get to it. And like always, Papa Llama's Advice Hole is just for entertainment, a little bit of education, and a whole bunch of fun. Okay, folks, so today we are going to create a new column of data, and this is going to be a column that has been calculated from our raw data that we downloaded. So I went ahead and started a new column here, column G, and I labeled it gain or loss for the day. I went ahead and bolded, text wrapped the label so that it's easy to read and we know what's going on in this column. And now we want to do a calculation. The way you tell Google Sheets that you want to start a formula is by indicating that you're starting the formula with an equal sign. Once you have the equal sign, you don't even have to do any real math. You have to just tell Google Sheets where to find the numbers that you want the calculations to be based off of. So in our case, we're going to take the closing price, we're going to click on it, and we're going to subtract from it the opening price. Now, a few things I want you to notice. First of all, when you are clicking on the cells that it will be using for the calculations, you see that it color codes everything. When we selected cell C2 for the closing price, it turned it orange. When we selected the opening price, it turned it purple. And when we look over here, this is where the answer is going to appear once we hit enter. But basically it's saying take your orange cell and subtract your purple cell from it. You'll also see this formula up here in the formula ribbon. Okay, take your orange and subtract purple. And then once you have that, you hit enter, and it gives you your answer of 35 cents. It also gives you this indication that you want, it asks you, do you want to autofill this? Now, if all your calculations are going to be exactly the same for all the rows in this column, you say yes. You just click the green check mark, or if it's not, or you don't want it, you click the X. In this case, we do want all the rows to be filled out for this particular column because it's the exact same calculation. It is just the C column minus the B column. So there we go. So let's look at what this cell is telling us. This is saying that on September 1st, the share opened at $19.05 and closed at $19.40. So that gives us a gain of 35 cents for that day. It's not bad. Now, when we're looking at this number, something that might make it easier to read is if the positive numbers, the days that we gained money, let's go ahead and color code those green. Because remember, when the stocks end their day higher, you've made money, so let's color code that green. And when they lose money, let's go ahead and color code that red. So we're going to do something called conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is basically like an if-then statement. In this case, it's if the number is greater than 0, meaning we made some money, go ahead, then color it green. On the second day, if you look here, it says we lost 22 cents. So the if-then statement is basically if we lost money or the number is equal to or less than 0, let's color code that red. So how do we do this? How do we do it for each one of these? Okay, so first we're going to select the column that we want the conditional formatting to occur. And we're going to come up here to the text ribbon and we're going to hit format. And if you come all the way down, the third to last one is called conditional formatting. It has a little paintbrush, so it kind of gives you an indication that you're going to be painting some colors. And we go ahead and click on that. And we're going to work with a single color first. And let's say that the first color is going to be green. Since I already selected my column, they went ahead and filled this apply to range area out, so I'm not even going to touch that. And the format rules. So this is the if statement. So if the cell is greater than or equal to 0, so we need to find a greater than 0, yeah, so greater than 0, and the value is going to be 0, so we type that in by hand. We want the background color to be like just transparent or none, and we want the text color to be a nice green. So okay, that looks too neon, that's very hard to read, so let's go ahead and pick there we go, a nice darker green. See, the problem is that's a little too dark, I think. Let's just go with this one. Yeah, that's fine. And we hit done. Okay, so we're taking a look at it, and now you see that all the positive numbers, the days that we made money, are shaded green. So it looks on the 1st and the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, we all made quite a bit of money, especially this day here on the 9th. I made 79 cents, so not bad Wendy's. Okay, but if you notice, the negative numbers are still black, so we have to do the same thing. Here we're going to add another rule, so you could click here, another rule, or you could do the same thing. You could go back to Format, you could go to Conditional Formatting, and start from the beginning there. But since this window is open, let's go ahead and hit another rule. We want a single color because we just want a red. We want to apply it to, let's say, column G. Okay. And we want the rule to be that if it's less than or equal to 0, then it's going to be, I'm going to say less than or equal to 0. And we're just selecting that. We want the background color to be none, but we want the text color to be red. Okay, so the background color, we hit none, the text color is red, we hit done, and then we look at the results. I'm just going to click there. So there we go. All the negative days, the days that we lost money, are red. So in this particular case, it looks like in this month, we actually made money off of Wendy's. So that's kind of interesting. Okay. A couple things to note here. What happens if you were to add all these up? That will tell you how much money overall you've made in the entire month. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that just for fun. In this particular case, we're just going to come over here to the functions, or this is a Greek symbol for the word sum. You just click on it and it asks you what you want the sum of. We're just going to add all our green numbers and red numbers together to see what it comes up to. So it looks like the sum of all our gains and losses for that month was 31 cents per share. So that's actually not bad. If we had 100 shares, that would have made us, what, 31 cents? So not bad. You see? So what I did is I just put another quick formula here that said, if you look up here at the formula ribbon, it said if I had 100 shares times the price that's in here, I would have made $31 for that month. Now, interestingly, I didn't flip a burger, I didn't fry any fries. That money I made just because I'm an owner of that particular company. In this case, this example case, it's Wendy's Restaurants. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete these two formulas here because those were just for fun and just for our knowledge to know how we did on a monthly basis. But I want to keep the core data that we have here because we'll be using it for something else. Okay. In the next video, we are going to go ahead and start using some of this data for various things. One of them in a future video we're going to do is learn how to graph this so that you can have some interesting ways of depicting all these numbers into a nice little picture. Another way we could do this is by creating tables. Our next video is to how do we create a summary table from all this raw data. And the idea is that when you talk to a stranger, you're not going to tell them every opening price, closing price, low price of the day, high price of the day, and the volume that happened for the last 30 days. What you're going to do is you're going to say, on average, I made this money. On average, the opening price was this. On average, the opening price was that. Well, you could get Google Sheets to create all those numbers for your tables, and that's what we're going to do in the next video.